Good morning, Service Lines community. How y'all doing today? Brother Doug.
It's Monday again, Zach.
It is Monday again.
We are like older than we were when we just did this like 48 hours ago, which is what it felt like.
It's pretty deep there, buddy.
We're aging fast, my friend. Aging fast.
Morning, Andrew. Good to see you. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard today, but
Morning, Andrew.
It's got YouTube all funky. There's no.
Andrew, are you making it to the conference to ASTI coming up? You remember you and me talking in the lobby, one of those middle of the week nights? Andrew is a special guy, my friend, Zach. That's all I can say. It's all I can say right now.
Love it. How was the weekend?
It was very good. The town picks up the leaves in our really well every year here. You know, some towns you have to pay for it. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Man, our trees literally wait till the day or two after before they all drop. So, yeah, yesterday morning, it was just raining red leaves out the window like a snowstorm. So Ben and I got out there and we got all the leaves almost done and ran out of bags. And then Ben said, I'll go to Home Depot because he's 16. So he loves to drive. Like I'm waiting for the day that he goes, oh, I don't want to go to the supermarket for you guys anymore. But right now he loves it. So yeah, he's like, we need more bags, don't we? I go, we do, Ben. And I was just dreading going to Home Depot. So he's like, I got it. And then like 15 minutes later, Dad, I hit a pothole. We got a flat tire. He was all upset because it's his mom's car. And good. He's a good kid though. He felt bad, which is good, even though it wasn't his fault, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the weekend. Ben's got under his resume, blown out flat tire from pothole. So
Nice. Well, we did Operation Christmas Child after I taught the mastermind. So that was a good mastermind talking about goal setting. Yeah, vision casting, goal setting, all that
great.
fun stuff. Yeah.
This is a perfect time of year because you got to get your brain moving in that direction to do it towards the end of the year and plan. So great timing on that, Zach. Is that a coincidence?
No, it's never a coincidence. There's always going to be something about goal setting and budgeting in November, December, because I'm very intentional when it comes to that. We didn't used to be as intentional, but once I took over the schedule, I don't care about the rest of the year. We can map it out and make it happen. But the last two, you got to have something on budgeting and goal setting. So
I love it.
Yeah. And
Andrew,
Christmas Child. Cool.
Oh, is that what you did up this weekend?
Yeah, pack shoe boxes for kids in other countries. Yeah, Christmas.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's a great nonprofit organization. Almost all the profit goes to getting it there. It's really great.
Yeah.
Good organization.
He says, I need a bunkie.
Yeah, you got to text me, Andrew, later today, and I'll see what I can do to help you.
All right. Well, today we're talking about, it's not a people problem. It's a standards problem. So many of us have problems with our teams or are dreading building a team because, it's so hard to hire and you can't find people. Guilty. It's process, it's standards, it's tolerating the wrong things, it's setting the wrong message. I would venture to say it's not just a standards problem, but it's a leadership problem.
Kind of ties to last week a little bit. It's a continuation, I think, to some degree of what we were chatting about last Monday, right? I mean, your standards have to be reasonable too, right? So this is this is a pendulum of just throw bodies at it to I want, perfect clones of me and no mistakes. So you're looking for standards that are achievable and going to help you achieve your goals, right?
Yep. So it should be good. We're gonna go kind of rapid fire, I think. We'll see. We got a lot to cover. We may or may not get through it all. So
I'll get us into prayer.
Praise up.
Lord God, we know that often fear comes when making a decision because we have no plan. We have no direction or North Star that we are following. We feel like we're running blind in our businesses and our lives. So, Lord, as we think on and pray to you about the most important thing, which is worshiping you and loving you and seeking eternal life, we pray that you give each one of us a North Star that guides us and directs us in our decisions, in our life, our thought life, and our actions, and especially our reactions when things in this world happen. Lord God, help us create a standard level that is guided by you and your word. We know that we'll fall short, but striving for it brings great honor and love from you. And so, God, give us the strength to be humble and to seek you first. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So, well, let's start with why teams fail. Have you ever done this one, Doug? Hired in a panic?
The first 8 years of running Action Appliance. Oh, yeah. Somebody quit. Let me get an ad going. Need someone for that area. That's a complete reactionary panic.
Yeah. I did that more times than I care to admit on this podcast. I'm all about transparency, but I did that more times than I care to admit. How about
8 years? 8 years is a long time, Zach, just so you know. So if you're feeling like, you've been around a couple years, a few years, and you haven't gotten started yet, it's going to be fine, man. Today's the day to make it intentional.
Yep. Yeah, you got to do it on purpose. You got to hire on purpose. There has to be planning and intention behind that. Culture isn't pizza Fridays or foosball tables in the break room. It's the worst behavior that you're going to allow, right? So we allow bad behavior. No.
What do you mean? What do you mean is the worst behavior? Culture? Explain that.
No. So culture isn't pizza Fridays. Everyone thinks like it's pizza Fridays or having a foosball table, video games in the break room, whatever. Culture really is the worst behavior in the company that you allow. Someone show up late all the time, someone not taking care of customers the right way, arguing with them, right? Not keeping their truck clean. Whatever it is for you, it's that worst behavior that you allow. That's kind of the foundation of the culture. You could try and do a million things right, but if you have one real critical thing that you're allowing and everyone sees it, that's what becomes the culture.
Listen, I don't think you're wrong, but it's very Chicagoan. I got to be honest with you. You're coming at it from the bottom or the backside, going, these are the boundaries. This is what we're willing to accept as you said, worst behavior. But you could try coming at it from the other direction now.
Oh, I'm not saying you can't build a great team with great culture by coming at it from the other direction. I just want to hear you argue.
No. It's so cool that we can live in a world. I mean, we're actually saying we all think the same thing. It's just it's the angle that we're coming at it
Yep.
from. Right? Like a great example would be 2 Saturdays ago. We only have like 3 technicians working or something out of the 20, just cover weekend and get caught up and stuff. One of the technicians calls out sick, and we have 8 people answering the phones, but on Saturday we just have 2, and so one of the techs calls out sick, and no CSRs come to work.
Oh no.
Yep, they're one of them. Their internet goes down or something, and they can't connect. And the other one forgot it was their Saturday, so we've got no one answering the phones. So I get a text in the morning, a little bit later than I'd like, where the office manager and the service manager and I are on, and they're like stating what's going on. And I'm looking at the texts, and I'm like, this is the time for them to shine, my managers. This is what they have to do. So I'm watching, and I'm even, seeing real life going on there. The office manager's going, well, today I'm helping my daughter move into her apartment and we're cleaning things. I just don't know. And, the service manager just saying, yeah, I can try to help here and do this. And then all of a sudden the office manager goes, nope, our code of values, she goes, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to take care of it. So she goes home, logs in, gets things all up and running to the best that she can. And then she sends a message based on our code of values. I knew I needed to do this because I want others to witness and experience. She wanted others to see what happens when things go wrong. And she said, it feels great. She felt great that she first struggled with, when do I get a day off? Damn it.
Right.
To, I need to do the right thing so that others can see that when we're doubling down and we're having trouble, that we step up and do the right thing. Yep. And it was her best, she's still praising about that day, not pridefully to herself, but how the company just kind of stepped up. But that was like a pretty good worst case scenario. And I thought to myself, well, if everyone just says, it's not my job, man, like I'm yours 7 to 5 every Monday through Friday, not my problem. Well, then that's the culture message, and I'll have to step up. But they just did it. They did it great. So
yeah, and I mean, so there's culture in that too, right? Doug is not the savior of everything. It's taken a while to get there, but
you gotta allow people. You gotta allow people to do it their way, which is maybe not your way, but it gets the job done. And then you say, hey, how'd that go? Well, this kind of happened. And I'm thinking, well, I kind of expected that to happen. So what'd you learn? Well, I'm never going to do that again. They're taking complete ownership in the journey. Hands off, Andrew. Pretty scary thing, but it gets easier after you do that a few times, hands off, and you get the right people doing it.
I want to highlight it's not just a Chicago thing here. Culture chains are only as strong as the weakest link. May not matter how minor the problem, it can affect the whole crew. Also, employees with bad attitudes, right? If you allow that, you permit that. And I'm not saying having a bad day, right? Your CSR, your tech, your service manager, they can have a bad day. But if it's a constant bad attitude, that begins to affect the whole team. And so if you allow that, that becomes the culture. Everyone just starts to butt heads. So it's not just the Chicago thing. Andrew's Ohio? And he's coming at from same kind of direction there. So
that's a very, very thin line of trying to get someone on your side there, Zach.
No, I do. I think it's important to build that good culture, because then the bad culture, those weak links, they become less. They become smaller, and the spotlight begins to shift. So I think as leaders, we need to focus on the weak links after we've built or put out the standards for what we really want the culture to be. Then we begin to focus on the weak links so we can start to eliminate those pieces from the culture so they don't become a bigger part of the culture. How about this one? And I know you guys recently have implemented this. So no shared scoreboard. Everyone's flying blind. They don't know when they're doing good and when they're not. You were like that for a while, right?
No, actually, from my other company in the 80s, I kind of stole that concept and brought it to Action. And even when I left Action, when I came back, it was still there. It is. I think it's important to know where you stand in the business across the board, right? So,
has it always
part
been
of our DNA?
Has it always been as refined as it is now? Are people actually?
Well, it used to be just like making your technicians commissioned. Oh, all right, that's it. I fixed my pay structure. All set. It'll self manage itself. Of course, they'll do better because they're incentivized. Hands off. I don't have to do anything. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. You might find some people thrive in it, but if you want your whole team to be successful, there needs to be coaching that comes alongside that. So yeah, we used to send the numbers out, and we would even self-manage amongst our peers. Like we might, this is the early 90s, so we were Neanderthals back then, but we would shame other techs, like we'd be in a meeting and this tech that's got, service call only walk rate of 15%, which today currently is 38% because of the way the industry's changed. But everybody that was halfway decent or great was 6 to 8%. So repairs were happening 95% of the time. This guy had 15. Every week, we would just berate the shit out of this guy for his 15% because we knew that he didn't care. He was just looking for the low-hanging fruit, the easy jobs, avoiding the hard ones. And we just kind of shamed him out of the company. That's not a great culture either. Regardless of how you're reacting, it has to be coached well.
Yep. So you either actually let's go here. This is gonna piss some people off. Training happens on customers in their home instead of in the shop or at the manufacturer, at the parts depot, whoever is hosting the training.
Yeah. I think the idea is people think that training happens in a period of time and then it's finished and then you're on your way. The way I look at it is training goes on for years. And so you need to get in front of the customers. You need to figure out how you react and respond when you mess up. Well, that's all part of the training.
No, I think you can and have to, by necessity, train some in the house. There's no way to emulate that in another environment. But how often have we heard, well, I do warranty work, because it doesn't matter and I can train my new technicians in a home that way.
You go broke.
Oh,
yeah. You got to be very efficient in the warranty world.
Yeah, that one hurts. So you're either designing culture or you're going to be paying the price for chaos. And I paid the price for chaos for a long time till it broke me. And so, I mean, really the lesson is begin to design the culture that you want within the company. Be intentional with your steps as you're building a team. And so that's kind of where we're heading next. Hiring that's going to work for you. I like this one. Use scorecards, not job descriptions. How many of us write up like page long, 2-page long job descriptions? And I think there is a place for a job description. But once someone is in the process of being onboarded, I really do think that should switch to what's our scorecard here, right?
That's right.
What do we track as a company? Okay. Yeah, no, you saw you need to have some electrical skill and mechanical skill, and you got to show up and um, be at work, right? But here's what we really track at the company, right? I
Mm.
think there has to be a switch once you brought them in. And
Yeah.
I mean, really, you could put the scorecard in your job posting. These are things we track. These are the things that matter. Do they matter to you as a
Paints a
potential
picture.
employee?
It paints the picture of the culture of your business as well, to show what you're tracking. So that's a great idea, Zach.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when we're hiring, we should have our mission in mind, our vision in mind, right? Our goals for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years in mind. What are the top 5 outcomes that you really want to see from each person? What are those core competencies that matter, right? If you're hiring a CSR, it's going to be, how do they handle someone yelling at them? How do they handle that conflict, right? How do they talk to the other people on the team? So those core competencies matter, and do they match the values of the company? Do you even have values that are clarified for your company? I think those are all important when we're hiring, and I think some of them get put to the wayside as we begin to hire. Maybe,
Well,
maybe not.
again, it depends on if you have that guiding star where you're trying to head. If you have a number of revenue or a number of tech or an area of service that you're thinking you'd like to reach, hiring a dud to cover calls for you now because you're overwhelmed only means that you're going to have to fire that guy or work really hard to get that guy up to the standard that you want so that you can get back on track to head where you're going. So you're either going to make smart moves or you're going to waste your time. It's kind of like doing a service call, right? You diagnose it, kind of shotgun it a little bit, you get back out there, didn't solve the problem. You've got some choices, right? You can spin the wheel and say, oh, it must be a defective part. You can make another second stab at a shotgun diagnosis, or you can, even though you don't have the time, you don't feel like you have the time, slow down, pause, and make a really great diagnosis. Get it right for the third trip and make that your final trip. So that same strategy works in your business. So decisions you make, are you kicking the can down the field? For how much longer are you going to do that? Or are you going to double down and take care of problems?
Yeah, that's values before skills, right?
Yeah.
That's making sure you have those values in place,
Yeah.
and not just a body in a seat.
Mm-hmm.
This is there's 3 things that I feel like you should always be looking for as you're trying to hire someone. And I love your input as you've been hiring, how you look for these things: ownership, honesty, and professionalism. How are you screening those things when you're trying to bring someone on board, or decide if they're worth bringing on board?
Well, I'm looking for affirmation. I'm looking for buy-in as we start to talk about you said it so well earlier, right? Share your mission, vision statement.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your future for the company. And you're hoping to see some excitement or desire to be a part of that team to get us there.
Yep.
And when you're thinking about 5 years down the road for your company, right? You could try that. You'll find if you do that, your hairline will be as far back as mine, because that doesn't. Yeah, there you go. See, we tried, Andrew. Look at that. Oh, wait a minute. Andrew's got the same problem. It's time to move on, Andrew. Try a new style. But yeah, giving them a chance to see buy-in.
Yep.
For sure. I hired 2 people recently. One had a decent amount of experience working for himself and knew how to fix appliances, and someone right out of electrical school. just let one of them go.
Yeah.
And that was the one with the experience that just did not seem to line up with our mindset of the business, of being smart and putting the customer first. And it was maybe 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yep.
That's like the fastest, almost the fastest dismissal we've ever had, because I'm trying to get better at that.
Yep.
You know, if we've got calls and this guy or this tech, this woman is making really bad judgment calls,
Yep.
you know, common sense ones, which are the worst, because there's no such thing as common sense, right? But if they don't have the instinct to say, well, I'm new here, let me ask for some help.
Yep.
And then just do it their own way. And then when you talk to them about it, they're like, fine, it's fine. Those are red flags. And so, yeah, we pulled the trigger and let that guy go, and we'll just start again. That's it.
Yep.
Keep on going.
Well, that's skills before value. And sometimes that's hard to figure out in that initial interview. Right. But you nailed the end of my thing on this one, buddy. It's hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah.
And you
Very
know,
hard
kind
to
of
do.
nailed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But once you begin to do that, you realize that the team is stronger for it, because if you let that bad behavior continue too long, like I said earlier, it starts to permeate through the entire team. And so you have to continually hire slow but fire fast, so you keep that strength in the team. And one of the other things that you have kind of switched to, and I think is an amazing process, so many people miss this step: always be recruiting.
Mhm.
You should always be recruiting. Always have those paid ads rocking to try and hire someone. Always be on the lookout at the parts warehouse, in the Facebook groups, stuff like that.
Mhm.
You should always have recruiting top of mind.
It's a
If you're
clutch
trying
and
to
gas
retain.
thing, Zach. Let's
Yeah.
just say in your area, it's usually around this time of year too. Employees are they're judging, they're evaluating the company they work for. Work is starting to slow down. They're going to sit there and go, is this the place for me? And so right now I'm getting many applicants checking in, and not just appliance people, but people that are going, I'm not working at a place where I see a future. So you can decide, hey, I think in the 5-year plan we're gonna grow out to
Yep.
these areas. Sometimes it's a clutch and gas thing. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 great candidates. All of a sudden it's like, I wasn't planning to scale yet, or I wasn't planning to bump out, but because I'm looking and searching for great people, I believe I'm going to attempt to grow up here. I'm going to
Right.
go in that area that they live at. That is kind of how we reactively grew. Remember, I said in the first 8 years, it was like, if some candidate came along and we didn't cover that area, I thought, well, this is a great person that we can build a territory off of. Very reactive, but it worked. And so if you're always looking and seeking for great people around you, it gives you an option to replace someone that isn't good, or actually give them a little fear, give a little competition, or decide to expand and grow.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, really, honestly, always being on the lookout, right, gives you the opportunity to hire when it's time, because always recruiting and always hiring are two different statements, right? And so if you're always recruiting and you're beginning to build that bridge to a candidate, when the time is right, you'll be able to hire them as well. But if you're not looking when you need someone, you haven't built that relationship. And so it is harder to hire fast.
Yeah.
I know I just broke my own rule, but sometimes if you built that relationship, it is a slower process to build that. it seems like you're hiring fast, but you've already put in the work, you've already put in the time to be able to bring that person into the company. Culture by design. I want to go through this just kind of quickly because I want to get to one of the training things I think that's going to help some people wrap their mind around it. So, culture by design, 5 non-negotiables. Safety and integrity should be first and foremost. They need to know how to speak the customer language. So many of us speak tech, but we don't speak customer. And so we really need to be hiring people that speak customer. Document it or it didn't happen. You need to make sure that there's notes on your CRM on that customer before you leave the house, before you hang up the phone. There has to be information for the rest of the team. So I think documenting and making sure that everything is written down has to happen. Those two kind of go together. And then train weekly. You should be training a tech and you should be training someone in ops weekly. Culture is standards and rhythm. Standards and rhythm. You're always going through the standards. There's a rhythm to what you're doing, and that begins to build culture inherently.
Absolutely. Consistency from above
Yep.
is the model that others need to follow. And if they can't, then they can't be in the band, as you're talking about, right?
Yep.
The beat, the melody, the beat, whatever that is. Yeah. Someone's got to keep that beat going, and it starts at the top. And it does sound like a clunker, right? The bandmate that can't stay on beat. It looks weird. It feels weird. So yep. Great analogy. I'm going to get a rock poster now for my office. Say, do you want to be part of the band?
I love it. I love it. I'm curious what you have to say on this onboarding that sticks. The first 30 days should be shadowing and standards. You train the basics, the scripts, the photos, the documentation, all the things that matter within the culture that you built. You focus on those the first 30 days. The next 30 days, you're going to be focusing on solo calls with feedback, and building that consistency within them. The last 30, you're focusing on autonomy and metrics. You want to make sure that scorecard is understood, that they're hitting the metrics or showing improvement on the metrics of the scorecard. Whatever that is, first call complete, revenue, recalls, customer satisfaction scores, whatever you have on your scorecard, whatever those KPIs you care about, that 60 to 90 days, you're focusing on building them up in that. Is that kind of what you guys are doing?
It's pretty accurate. I mean, I find weirdly enough, they either get out a little bit faster, by 6-7 weeks. They want to be out there, doing part installations or basic laundry, not doing, 6 to 8 calls a day, but doing 2 to 3 on their own. And then I find the other side is some people that are a little bit slower. They all say they want to get out right away. And then you throw them out there, and then it's like they don't remember saying it. Then they go, "You threw me out there too fast," right? It's like, that's what whenever I get feedback, I like to get feedback, towards the end of their training process. What'd you think? What do you think we could do differently and better? And I already know a lot of what we can do better, but most of them say, "I think you put me out too soon." And if I don't hear that, then I know we probably kept them in too long, to be honest with you. They've got to be thrown into the water for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty accurate. I'd say I've got people that hit shorter than the 90.
Yeah, sure.
And a little bit further out. I had, and it's probably all our fault, I've had 2 or 3 technicians from a hiring round 3 years ago. that it took like going into the second year over that they finally found their rhythm and took off. And today, those people might not have made it in the mindset that I currently have.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Still pondering, Zach. I don't think you ever figure it all out and feel 100% confident, because they are people. And there's exceptions to the rule, and it's
Sure.
whether you want to take a chance there. Every time you take a chance and it works or doesn't work, it's just more intuition that's built into your muscle guts for the future. When you can't explain why someone should be hired, or you shouldn't let them go, or you should, your gut will start to be something you can trust. And you need your team to be able to see that too. So a lot of post hiring and post dismissing, sitting with your team and talking about, what did you guys see? What were you feeling when this happened and when that happened, type of thing.
Yeah,
you're
it's
trying
a
to build
guideline.
muscle for all your people, that like if you've got a trainer tech, that you have your new employees shadow with, it's important to stay in the loop. If I, like the guy I recently let go, I had to meet with the 2 trainer techs that he shadowed and say, hey, I just want to tell you what I thought and what I saw. And they confirmed it. And now they know what I'm looking for, what the company's looking for, and they'll be watching more intently because a strong action was taken there. So, matter of fact, ironically, I should say this. I don't know that a lot of people from Action, my techs, know I do this, but there was the guy just the day before we were letting him go, one of my techs who struggles with consistency really bad. It makes such a mesh for himself. If he's not consistent in what he does, I don't think it's still clicking up here that he's causing half of the trouble and havoc he has in his day-to-day life at work. And I hear him talking to the service manager, and he goes, why are you babying this guy? He's ready. Throw him out there. Now we didn't because he's struggling with consistency and common sense, the new guy. And so it was irony. It was coming from one of my most troubled technicians, who from his perspective was, he's ready, dude. Throw him out there. And, Brian, manager's talking to him and going, well, we really want him to focus on improving here and there. And he's like, he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Yet this guy hasn't figured it out, and he's here for 2 years, So that's the irony, right? That the blind spots that we have as people, right? This technician, he's a great guy. I love him, but he has blind spots about his own progress and his own work. And for me to judge him, Zach, and laugh at his blind spots would be very naive of me, because I've got them too. Right?
I want to say in there, I'm really proud of something else that I'm hearing. Brian was pulling the reins back.
Yeah.
Knowing Brian, to hear him going, well, hold on.
Yeah.
We got to work on this thing. And he's pulling. That is huge growth. Like, I'm celebrating with you, because that is, I love Brian. And to see to hear the growth in him. Whew.
It's the gut muscles that we work on, right? Hey, we've been here 2 times before, 3 times before, 10 times before. We're going to do something different now. We're going to change the way we do things to see if we have a different outcome. And you're absolutely there. I guess there was some slight irony in that as well, Brian, right? That he was talking to Brian, and Brian was that. So that's the fun parts about running a business. That's the fun parts about building a team. It's hard work. It's frustrating at times, but it's incredibly rewarding when you see milestones and growth happening with your people. That's what we're here for.
Well, and that comes from what we're going to talk about next. We could really go on for another hour, but I want to finish up with this. Cadence equals culture, right? We kind of talked about that a little bit in how we build the 5 non-negotiables. Mm-hmm. One of the ways to do that is get some daily 10-minute huddles going. And this doesn't have to be like overly complicated, right? You want 10 minutes, stick to that 10 minutes or less. Share the wins, share the things that are roadblocking you, safety tips or customer education tips, and keep it keep it short, but do it consistently. And you begin to build that culture. One of the things I know that you are doing is posting or discussing the weekly scoreboard with technicians. You know, whatever those KPIs, you're making sure that everyone has transparency on the scorecard. It says a weekly 45-minute training. I don't know that everyone needs a 45-minute training a week, but training someone within the company, getting that extra training, just being intentional, 45 minutes each week can make a difference. You know, pick a different person each week, I think is a better rhythm to that. And then doing monthly or quarterly team updates, progress shout outs, whatever metrics you have been focusing on for that quarter. Make sure you're letting people know where things are going well and where they can use improvement, right? You keep that consistency. And I think if I've heard you right, by doing that more regularly, you are starting to see that growth. I mean, hearing where Brian's come, it's working for you guys.
We're a work in progress. Consistency is going to be the most important thing to running any business. And right here, the struggle to be consistent and maintain things that have to happen on a regular basis. Expectations, right? These meetings you talk about, you can't have them once in a while. They lose value and you lose credibility if it's the flavor of the month. So you have to be consistent. We use the EOS traction model. So every single week, the scorecard is presented. It is a 45-minute meeting. I don't know why you're creeping out on the action appliance thing, but it is 45 minutes. But it really is. Hopefully training comes from peer-to-peer discussions. So our 45-minute meeting is going over the scorecard of the tech KPIs. Did we hit it? Did we not for the week? Then we have headlines. Headlines can be something fun like somebody's birthday or anniversary. It can be announcing that we've hired 2 people. It could be letting them know that we let somebody go, or we implemented a new product or service or vendor or application. After that, we move into to-dos. Those are things that maybe the previous week we said, hey, why don't we all try doing this? So then we check in. Did we try that or not? We have a screen of 18 to 20 people. It's kind of hard to track it all, but we do that. And then the rest of the meeting is issues. What are ideas? What do you see, technicians, from your vantage point that is working and not working that we can talk about? And it's a great meeting, 45 minutes a week.
Well, the 2 hours later, everyone's mad donuts are gone and you don't even get the one you wanted. And so that's the point of keeping these meetings shorter and to the point. We've been doing some rather long ones at the roofing company and people zone out. You got to keep it short. You got to keep it concise, and it's got to stay on track. You really have to follow that rhythm. Otherwise,
well, I think you can have one if you have the right crowd and everyone is on board of trying to achieve or get something done. The reality is if you just talk about it and you do nothing with it, and then 3 weeks later someone brings it up like it's a brand new topic again, and then we talk about it again and we do nothing about it, there's that lack of credibility. So any discussion of an issue or idea, the cadence has to be, all right, so what should we do about that? Do we want to do anything about that? We do. What do we want to try? Let's try that. Let's just try that. And let's see if that solves the problem or that brings this idea into something bigger. But if we just talk about stuff, which really good at, so that's the it's call to action when something's brought up. Maybe something just needs to be brought up. That happens from time to time in our meetings. Technicians will bring something up. Other technicians will go, well, if you don't do this and this, which is what we're supposed to do, then, you're going to have those problems. And so then the question is, so do we feel like this is resolved, this issue? It is. Nothing had to be done. It was just a reminder. So it's that 45-minute of intentional meeting. I can see Andrew. I know Andrew started another company that was pretty decent size. So I think he's having PTSD from of not even getting the donut you chose, but having a meeting and not having something to take away is very frustrating.
Yeah, meeting for the sake of a meeting is garbage. It has to be intentional.
And by the way, I'm sure I have a bunch of people at my company that think these meetings are a waste of time. You know what that means, Zach, if they feel that way? It's get it, want it capacity. Do they get it? Do they get what we're trying to achieve at Action Appliance? Do they want it?
Yeah.
They want to be a part of this. Do they want to succeed? Do they want to be a part of the team? Yeah. And then do they have the ability to even comprehend the concept? If it's no on the first two or one or the first two, that's a serious red flag. If somebody doesn't get it, no, man, dude, we're not here to fix appliances. No, we're not. We're here to take care of our customers. Do you understand that? No. They're calling about a dryer. I fixed the damn dryer. I know, but you didn't do this, and this, and they weren't happy. Right. They should be happy. I fixed the dryer. They don't get it. Right. Can you change somebody? Can you get through to someone? Sometimes it's a lot of work to get that light bulb to go off when they don't get the basic understanding that we take care of customers and not just appliances, right? What if they don't want it? Oh my God, I just fucking need my money. That's all I want is my paycheck. I'm going to do this much for you and it should be good enough. And if it's not good enough, that's your problem, not mine. And this person's not wrong. Because if I keep the person who doesn't want the job here, then it's all my fault. So if they don't get it, they don't want it, if they don't get or want both, oh my goodness, move them out, which by the way is not Andrew. Andrew was always treating his when I talked to him, treating his old company like it was his own. And he's like, I feel like this would be a better way of doing things. And so if he wasn't heard or the owner didn't incorporate those ideas, that could be frustrating. Or maybe Andrew was just born to be the owner of a business,
I, like Andrew, have been in far too many meetings that could have been in an email. And so I guess my point is, yeah, at Action Appliance, if they feel this way, it's probably a person problem, not a leadership problem. Mm-hmm. I think far too many companies have this problem. It could have been an email. We're not holding the meetings with intentionality. Mm-hmm. You laid out the structure, what your 45-minute. I was part of that 45-minute meeting. Rock and roll. I'm on board. But if we're having the same conversation over and over and nothing's happening,
it's about content, because you can take, and Andrew's not here, but let me take Andrew in a direction that he probably didn't mean to say. Do we need to talk about stuff? Just go do it. Just go fix the stuff. Do the best you can. We don't need to talk about it. You just send me an email, right? I get it, Andrew. And so some business owners have that concept.
Yeah.
When I find the right people, I'll get off the road and I'll scale this thing. But for now, I got calls.
Yeah.
But when are you going to work on the business? Did you hear what I just said? I got calls. I don't have time. Okay. All right, my friend. Right. That's a very short-sighted thing. And so I know that's not what Andrew means, but a lot of business owners are stuck in that mode. Mm-hmm. Whatever. You're in a better situation than I am. It's impossible for me to get out of what I'm doing right now. I have to do all this stuff. Okay. You feel like you have to. Good luck. Good luck, And to be a business owner, Andrew, you better learn some basic psychologist skills. You need them.
Yep.
You really do. Otherwise, it's the crazy cycle for you.
It is. That's one of the things I've learned in the last 5 years. Can't can't just be about doing the work. You got to figure out how to work with the people, So
you hire a Sears guy or a big warranty company guy. You got 5 referrals to say the guy's a monster at fixing stuff, but he's a monster at managing people.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a COD business, or you want to be a COD business, good luck with that.
Yep.
You're going to build a business on, sort of the wrong person for the company.
Yep.
And that's going to get in your way down the road.
Is indeed. Well, hopefully that kind of helped you guys. Hopefully you hung with us long enough to pull some nuggets out of that. Hiring slow, firing fast, holding meetings with intentionality, having consistency and transparency within your company allows you to build a company that's going to go the long haul versus having to reinvent the wheel. What feels like every week. You can begin to build a lasting company. So you guys want more of this? ServiceAllianceGroup.com. Become an all access member. Join us December 20th, right before Christmas. We're going to be talking about planning your budget for the next year, because the end of the year is coming up quick, guys. And we want to be ready to go into the new year with intentional moves, with purpose. And so we're going to be talking about that December 20th when we do our annual budget planning. Come join some other business owners and get your minds wrapped around getting a budget in place. Guys, take care of your customers, love them well, and we'll see you next time on the Morning Grind. Bye everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Grind podcast by Service Alliance Group. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you visit our website at servicealliancegroup.com for appliance repair business resources.